People say you need to have good communication skills in order to have a meaningful conversation. In my opinion, it is the right balance between talking and listening in order to have a meaningful conversation with your audience. Hi, my name is Girija Shankar, and today I am going to talk about 10 different tips on having a meaningful conversation with your audience. Tip number 1, do not engage in multitasking. We, as modern day professionals, we tend to engage in multitasking a lot of times. While speaking to our team members, we work on our laptop, and that reflects in our energy level, and that reflects in the conversation what we are having with our team members. Hence, it is important not to be in multitasking mode in having a conversation with your audience. Tip number 2, you have an open mind while having a conversation. Do not have the prejudice on any topic. You understand the other person's perspective and then have the conversation. Tip number 3, use open-ended questions. Do not ask any questions which will lead to yes or no kind of answer. Rather, ask these open-ended questions. Hey, what do you think about it? And how does it look like? So those kind of questions will lead to a more elaborative response from your audience so that you understand their perspective. Tip number 4, go with the flow. Do not interrupt your audience if they are saying something to you. Tip number 5, if you do not know anything, say you do not know. Do not engage yourself in cheap conversation. Do not try to showcase that you are an expert in the topic where you are not, and it reflects in your energy level. Tip number 6, do not equate your experience with theirs, because everyone's experience is unique. If you are equating your experience with theirs, then you are not empathizing with their experience. And it is very important to empathize and understand their perspective while having a meaningful conversation. Tip number 7, try not to repeat yourself because it is very boring. Tip number 8, stay out of the weeds. Do not engage in providing a lot many details so that your audience gets lost in the details. Rather, engage yourself in a meaningful conversation. And this is where my mentor says, hey, it is not the content that is important, but it is the context that is important. And tip number 9, be brief. Tip number 10, listen to your audience. And this is where Gautam Buddha says, hey, if your mouth is open, then you are not listening. And many a times we tend to listen not with the intent to understand the other person's perspective, but we listen so that we can respond to them. That is not right. In order to have a meaningful conversation, you need to listen to your audience with empathy. And these are all the 10 tips. If you master any one of those tips, I am sure you can have a very meaningful conversation. And with this, I will stop here. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please do comment below. Thank you.